Touchdown. Touchdown. Touchdown.
Red square,
Touchdown.
what's a buckle for me friend them?
Touchdown.
She need the wicked love. She need it. She need it. Yeah. Boom. When me tell you say,
Kill a belly and strangle. So she want get angle. Come up with the melted candle. So she want get angle. Tie up with the rope and tangle. So she want get angle. She and one uncle. Feel when the hole and the belly dismantle.
sex up, make sure say you're good at that. Girl, them no wanna soft love, do that at. Girl, them want the style, them a do like clock. 6:30, 6:45, do not stop. 75 shades of grey, she a get that. Over in the corner and the basement.
Hello again, world. Thank you guys for joining us again on another episode of Music and Marriage. My name is Nikita. I am your host, and this is my co-host.
I'm Red Square. We're there again, one more time. Another episode, Music and Marriage podcast. The best thing smoking out there. You know what I mean?
You heard what he said.
Yeah.
No lies detected.
Get tuned with us. Get in tune.
Yes, make sure you guys, before we even get into anything, make sure you guys subscribe. If you haven't subscribed us yet, make sure you go over to our YouTube page, Red Square Official, and subscribe to the podcast.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys, take that little bell where you can get notified anytime we drop anything.
Yeah.
Just make sure you continue to support. Check us out on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Anchor FM, all of those things. Continue to support and continue to follow the movement, the reasoning that we continue to have each and every episode. We hope you guys enjoy our reasoning and our opinions on certain decisions. So thanks for the support wherever you are in the world listening.
Yeah. Stay in tune too, you know what I mean? Because you don't know. We are go deep into the season, say on
It's
nothing
season 3 now,
you know what I mean?
so make sure you guys just continue to support and just be interactive. Don't be afraid to reach out to us and ask questions or to discuss an issue or something that we've discussed on the podcast. We like to do stuff like that. So
don't be afraid.
Yeah, definitely make sure you guys feel free to reach out to us and let us know how you feel about the podcast.
Yeah. Before we start on our topic of the day, don't know, as usual, I have a few comments. Not really a few today, but maybe one or two. This new, I recently discovered this app, a new app. Well, it's new to me, but other people probably use it long time. Clubhouse. I don't know if y'all are familiar with it already, but if not, I find it very interesting. In the sense that you get to hear industry people speaking about, industry stuff. So, depending on what passion you have or what industry you're in, and you're able to go into these groups and hear these people that are actually doing the work, who are doing the work on a major level, speak about, for the most part, the industry and how to maneuver and whatever. And I think that it's very, very helpful. Whoever created this app, big up on yourself. App is called Clubhouse. So for me, for us, in particular, we do podcasting, and I'm also an artist. So, we have businesses that we do that we need to administer, and just finding podcasting groups, people that are popular out there in the podcasting world, people like Joe Budden, people like that, and just being able to hear the conversations that they are having about how the industry works and what's moving in the industry, like an insider vibration. It's kind of interesting to me. You know what I mean? Obviously, we now go in there in the groups, not talking with nobody. You know, but just being able to listen to what's going
Taking
on.
the inside and on the inside.
Yeah, it's kind of very interesting.
Okay.
I really like this app, you know. Clubhouse.
Not so much me.
Check it out if you need for, if you know, check it out. I feel it's very interesting. It's gonna be a very interesting app once it get. I'm guessing it's already popular.
It's popular because a lot of people.
I'm probably one of the few people and we never know nothing about it and just a catch on now.
It's popular. Well, I heard about it within like I think it was December or sometime I heard about it, but it wasn't nothing like a huge thing that it is now. Like celebs are using it, everyone's hosting classes through it. It's kind of like a new Zoom, but without the visual, without the camera. The video is like it's just the audio. But for me, I don't really know. It hasn't really caught me yet, and it hasn't really intrigued me to the point where I'm like, okay, I got to check this app on a daily basis to see what's going on, or
not necessarily on a daily basis either, because you know it's not like that. It's like
not even on a once a week
it's
basis.
like people you see doing it's in the same field that you are in. But you're not able to speak to these people because you don't know them.
Meetings to hear what's going
on,
how
but
they conduct business. So this is like
this
an insight.
app allows you now to hear these people speak about what's going on in the industry. You know, where you wouldn't be able to get to these people on a regular. You know what I mean?
I get the purpose of the app.
So
but for me,
I find it very interesting.
Not really interested like that.
I find it interesting. Sometimes you need some inside information in order to move your things. You know, you need people who actually depend on the level.
That's why that's something that more fits your character. You're that type of person that I'm. So it's good for you to have it and enjoy. Yeah. And I can share your knowledge with me once you receive. Definitely. That's even though I'm not interested myself, you are. So when you get the information, you can be able to relay it in. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. So it's all good. I don't have no issues with it. I haven't really seen anything negative about it. It's just been pretty much business, small businesses or even large businesses, corporations,
Definitely.
Entrepreneurs.
People all over the world.
All over the world that are hosting classes or just having regular conversation with another, peer or another coworker. So
exactly.
It's interesting, but
things that you wouldn't be privy to, conversations that you wouldn't be privy to,
exactly,
are now public. And then sometimes, you're gonna check yourself and not say certain things in an app like this because you don't know, you don't know who's listening. You know what I mean? So it definitely has drawbacks. Okay. But for the most part,
you like it.
I like the idea of it. I like the idea
Make sure y'all go catch him over on Clubhouse. He over there because he sent me a request.
Yeah.
So
LMR, big up yourself. Thanks for inviting me.
Check him out over
because
there.
LMR was the one that actually invited me, because the app is that you cannot be on the app unless you're invited by someone. That's what I find interesting. You can't just download the app and just say, okay, I'm going on Clubhouse.
Really?
No. Somebody have actually invite you in order for you to be on the app. That's a first. Maybe them have other apps where popular where I do the same thing, but it's a first for me. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I like the little
he's digging Clubhouse,
happy,
y'all.
techie things that I'm a techie type of person. I liked, I'm into that type of thing.
He's a nerd.
Yeah, computer information systems was my major in school, so yeah, that little part out there, me get. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good. I've just been here, seeing a lot of madness going on, a lot of divorces.
Yeah.
Latoya Luckett, the girl that was a part of Destiny Child formerly. She had a divorce from her husband. I think they were together about 7 or 8 years, maybe less.
Okay.
But they've just announced that they're getting a divorce. And then, there's other people out there, but it's just like, wow, just to see it still going on. Still divorce rates are still, it's like it's rising back up. When it fell down, like it's going right back up.
So it go. Them thing they're unpredictable. Relationships.
Yeah.
One day you're happy, the next day. And if you don't have the strength and the will to fight it through, then,
it's gonna be a
things
losing
happen.
battle. Yeah. Definitely. So let's get into today's topic. Because someone that I know as well is on the brink of divorce, and his reasoning behind it, why he wanted a divorce from his spouse, was he's not getting enough sex.
Okay.
So I wanted to know, like, does lack of intimacy, like, does that kill a relationship or a marriage? Or does it help to, for you to build stronger with not just knowing that person on an intimate level, but knowing that person
Lack of
wholly?
intimacy.
Yeah.
Lack of intimacy. I'm not sure if we spoke about this already, but
No.
for me, it's not really a deal breaker. Every man loves sex, and every woman supposed to love sex as well.
No, not every woman.
And if you're not if you're not enjoying your sex life, then it's not a deal breaker. It's not a deal breaker for me, if you are not enjoying your sex life. But it can be a deal breaker for you. If
So how can it be not a deal breaker for you, but men love sex?
It can't.
I'm confused, because right there, when it's not a deal breaker for you, where you're gonna say, okay, you're not gonna step out on her because of the lack of intimacy, you're telling me that you're just gonna hold it?
Yeah. The thing about it is that when you really think about it, if a man is not enjoying his sex life with his partner, for the most part, a man I go step out. You understand? So I can't speak for other men out there. But at this point in my life, for me there right now, personally, I've been having sex since maybe I was 11 years old, maybe. 11, 12 years old. A very, very, very long time. I grew up in a society that is highly sexually charged, and therefore, things happen, and now I'm in my 30s, and I'm still having sex. You understand? So it's been years upon top of years upon top of years. And yes, I want to please you all the time, you know what I mean? That is definitely something that is important. Should be important, should be a priority. But as we get older, we have to realize that we can't do the things that we used to do when we did young, when we were teenagers or whatever. And you have to understand within yourself. You have to be able to communicate your limitations and understand your partner's limitation, and reasoning from that point of view. I feel like it shouldn't be a deal breaker now, at this point, when you're already years in, and we've enjoyed sex together for a very long time, for up to this day. So it's like, if tomorrow come and you're not really into sex, or you don't want it as much as you used to want it, it's not gonna be a deal breaker for me, because I've enjoyed sex with you over the years as my partner, especially if we've been together for so long. But again, that's just me. It's just my personal opinion. You know, you might see it differently. You know, you might
Sure.
want to continue to have the whatever we've been having for many years, and you feel like maybe if we fall off, it might be some kind of a challenge to you, and then that's something that we will have to talk about, and if we can come to a certain understanding about how the body is changing and how mentally how things are changing, then we can and we move past it. But if we can't, then you know we have to work out other circumstances, not circumstances, but work out other ways of getting around it if we can.
All right. So, with that said, then, how many times do you think it's a good amount of time for a couple to have sex per week?
For the week,
Because that was an issue too with the person. Like he said, it's not even 3 times a week. So he's like, it leaves him in a space where he wants more. He's lonely, and she's not willing to offer that because she's focused on whatever it is that she's doing, and he feels like he
Well, like me
needs
say,
more.
I feel like you can't be greedy, you know. You can't be greedy when it comes to sex. Sex is important, seen for a number of things, you know, mental release, you know. But the most important purpose of sex is to bring children. You know, I fulfilled my purpose. You know,
So,
so
does that
if
mean you should not have sex
so
anymore? Being that
if
you
I'm not
fulfilled your
saying no,
purpose?
wait, I fulfill my purpose. Since so, I feel like if we have sex once a day for the week, that's fine. That's fine with
So
me.
one time for the week is fine.
No, once a day for the week. So every day,
Once per day.
once. Yeah,
Okay, I thought you meant like one time for the week, and I'm
that's
like,
fine. That's fine. That is okay for me.
once a week.
No, once per day for the week. Every day of the week. So 7
One
days
day.
a week,
So one a day.
one a day.
Okay.
Yeah. If we have a sexual encounter once for the whole day, every day of the week,
You're good.
that's good. That's fine with me.
I would say the same.
That's fine with me. You know.
But there's a lot of women out there that don't like sex, where they're just like, it's for many women it does hurt, like outside of, you know, the pleasure and pain part. Like they do have physical pain from having sex.
Yeah, and
So
I mean, all right. So yeah, if the issue is that you don't, it's because of pain or whatever.
no, if
and
the issue is just like you just don't want to, because a lot of women just don't want to do it.
as long as you not do it outside with nobody else, then that's fine. You understand what I say? As long as you're not
No.
having sexual encounters with other
selfish.
people.
But I think that's selfish, though. If you're going to enter a relationship knowing that you guys have a great sexual relationship, right? And then all of a sudden it's just like, okay, you're not really interested anymore. You misled the person because you made me to believe that this is something that you enjoy to do. Well, if it's the case where you don't enjoy it with that person, then that's a different conversation that you guys need to have. But I feel like if it's something where we both have an understanding of what it is that we're getting into when we come into the relationship, and we both have an agreement on something, it shouldn't be changed because, oh, I just don't feel like it. Because that's being selfish to me. I have needs as well as so do you. If you feel that your needs are not necessarily needed to be met at that moment or whatever, that's fine, but you don't deprive me of what I need because you decide that you don't want it.
Well, that's a different circumstance again. I mean, you have to get all of the particulars to understand how to really approach the question. You know, because if me and you have great sex for how much years and we've been together for 15, 20 years,
But not a
and
lot
then
of people
in the
have,
in the
but
20th
that's what
year,
I'm saying to you, but not a lot of people have great sex for that long.
yeah, but,
so
but
it's-
that's what I'm saying, babe. It depends on the particulars of the situation. You understand? So again, if we've been having sex for 20 years and it's been great sex for 19, and then all of a sudden in the 28th year it starts to get less. And me not gonna ask you a divorce or
I'm not gonna ask
like,
for a divorce.
you understand
but
what I
I'ma
say?
look at you funny.
We're gonna talk about
Yeah, we're
whatever.
gonna talk about it. I'm gonna look at you
Because
funny like
and
something
then we have
going
to
on.
get to the bottom of was you know.
Exactly what's really going
Yeah.
on, because a lot of people, that's the thing though, a lot of people want sex but they don't really understand their partner's needs. Like, you have to understand what it is that your partner need in order to be able to fulfill that. When you understand that, then everything will fall into place, everything will work right.
Everything can just fall into place just like that.
Why so?
Because it's not only dependent upon your partner's needs, it's also dependent upon what the spouse or the other partner can deliver. You understand? So if me I deliver, if I'm giving you good sex for 19 years and then on the 20th year my body starts slow down or whatever. Remember, you know, as a woman, and I can't say that either, but because the situation is the man is wanting more. You know what I mean? And if you are reason if we are reason from that, from this particular issue, you know, a selfish man would not say to himself, but damn, you're the woman and me, if you get it up, you all have to do lay down and take it. You understand what I say? As a selfish man, we can reason from that point of view there, and it's not like you have to do nothing really.
What you mean you don't have to do nothing?
No,
really?
in terms of we can't have sex unless me get it up.
Okay.
You understand what I say?
Okay.
Naturally.
Okay.
There's no other way around that.
Okay.
We cannot have sex unless the soldier can stand at attention.
Okay.
You understand what I say? So, what I'm saying is, from this particular situation, the woman can just lay down and take sex and do nothing.
So
and give the man in pleasure.
That's
but obviously she does not want to. She for whatever reason, we'd have to know the reason why she don't want to have sex with him.
That was never given to me.
You understand what I mean? I say, like, it's just not as.
All right, put yourself in a situation then. Like, for you, how would you feel if I'm just like, all right, I'm not getting enough sex and I want more, so we got to figure something out, or I'm going to have to go? Or would you say, all right, if that's the case and you feel like as a man you cannot please your woman in that area, would you say to her, all right, I'll give you that opportunity to go and have sex with someone else to get pleased? Just like how y'all men say y'all need y'all reset sometimes, or y'all little go to and do a little thing, dip in and dip out. Would you allow her to have that if you feel like there is no way?
It depends on the relationship that we have. You know, if we have that kind of relationship, then it's gonna be hard to say, all right, go and make another man sleep with you, just to satisfy your needs.
Yeah, but men do it on a regular basis.
Yeah, so we are reason from how I would react and what I would do.
Okay.
Right? Not in general. Just my personal vibe, because that's what you asked me.
Okay.
How I would I would do.
But you've cheated, so how is it that you don't feel comfortable to give your woman that to say, okay, you're gonna give her that opportunity to be pleased, but you do it selfishly on a regular basis without no repercussions?
But listen to what I say, Nikita. You ask a question, and me I say, personally for me, it depends on the relationship that we have. You understand? If we have that type of relationship where me I go say, all right, me do my thing, you can go and go do your thing, because we not please you in that area there. Then me I go have to deal with that as a man. Me I go have to understand if I'm that type of person, because men can't really process relationships in other way. Men don't really react to that type of vibration.
But I don't understand how.
It's just that we're just wired that way. It's hard for a man to know say a woman sleep with another man round the sun. Understand?
But a woman is supposed to understand that her man is sleeping with.
I'm not saying that.
But that's the misconception, or that's the thought that most men have.
Yeah, me
they
not
feel
say
like
that.
it's okay for their woman, for them to have more than one woman, and them woman in an argument with the other one and all of that. But dare her try to say she gonna have him even drive by Tony and he even look at you wrong, like it's gonna be a whole nother situation. Like, why is it so unfair for you guys to just be balanced with the whole situation? Like, be fair.
You have man with balance. You understand? You have man with balance, you know, but I feel like, for me again, personally, it's just a thing where it's just hard to imagine your woman a lay down with another man.
So how you think women feel when we gotta imagine y'all sleeping with the next chick, and then some of these girls be so disrespectful, they want to tell you what y'all doing together?
Because
like,
I don't know, me can't answer that. You have to answer that. How do you deal with me knowing that me lay down with the next chick and then still have the strength to allow me to come back in the relationship with you and still be able to build? You have to answer that. Me can't answer that because I'm not a woman. You understand what I say? You can answer that better than me. Me, I tell you from a man's perspective that it's difficult to really visualize your woman laying down with the next man, especially your woman who you love. Sometimes even yes, a side catty. Some man, even a side catty, it's hard for a man to say, yo, if you're there with another man and you're my side chick, or if and me alone supposed to be a side man, you're not supposed to have no more man. Like, man, do them, you have man who stay them way there too. You understand what I say? So it's like it's just there's no explanation. It's just that we are men and that's how we configure mentally. There's no explanation.
That's why when enough man get bad, men feel bad. That's why when enough man get jacket, you can't feel bad, because if that's the reasoning that y'all gonna give because we're men, like that's the the most selfish
there's no
shit
explanation. There's no other explanation. You understand what I say? There's no me can't speak for no other man, but me personally can tell you that there's no explanation for that. It is what it is. Me can't visualize you lay down with the next man. And then at the same time, like me say, we have to deal with this situation if that happens. If me know say me can't please you, and we speak about it and you decide that you're gonna go outside to get pleasure.
But when you meant, that's what I'm trying to say, like, men want us to give y'all the courtesy to say, okay, we're gonna come and speak to you before we go out and sleep with someone else. Y'all ain't coming to us and telling us shit.
Then Nikita, again.
So how is it that it's fair for us to have to come and have a conversation with you?
Again, me not defend. There's nothing that I'm defending here. Right? Me not defend nothing at all. But as I speak from my perspective, again. See? So me I say, if you decide, say, if there's a situation in our marriage where me not please you sexually, right? And we have a conversation that, okay, maybe I need to go outside to get that pleasure and then come back home. Then we're going to talk about it. We're going to have a conversation about it, and then if we can deal with that.
No, we're not.
Okay. If you don't want to have a conversation, then you don't have to.
But
you can go do your thing. And then deal with the repercussions of
repercussions.
And then deal with.
So
yeah, just like our man have to deal with the repercussions of whatever he does, a woman also have to deal with the repercussions of whatever she does. That's just life.
Just like now you're telling me it's us we're talking about in the situation, just like us, we've been in situations like that where you've done things outside and then you come back and expect for everything to just be good.
Right.
Or you expect to just be forgiven just like that.
Right.
So you've done things, you've never came to me before and said, well, I want to sleep with this girl, or I see this girl that I like, or shorty's hitting on me, or I want to smash this. Like, we've never had a conversation. There was never no courtesy. Okay. So that's what I'm saying to you. Like, how is it that when you men do shit, it's just, okay, I did it and we find out about it. But when we're unhappy, when y'all unhappy, y'all not coming and having conversations. 99% of men don't sit down and have conversations and say, okay, well, they're unhappy or whatever's going on. When you were doing what you were doing, you never ever came down and said, well, I'm unhappy, or this is going on, or that's going on. You just moved and did what you wanted to do. Okay. So why is that there? I need to come to you and say, okay, well, this is how I feel and we need to have a conversation about it. It's unfair.
And like I say, we don't have to. if we are not in that space of
It's not even about in that space. So why is it that we need to be in that space now when it benefits men?
No, you're trying to be argumentative when it's not necessary.
How am I trying to be argumentative?
What we are trying
I'm
to
trying
say
to
is,
make you understand what I'm saying, because
I understand what you're saying, but at the same time you're trying to be argumentative and not listening to what I'm saying.
Okay.
What me I say is, if you want to do that, that is also fine. But then, like a man have to deal with the consequences of his actions, you also have to deal with the consequences.
What consequences of your actions have you ever dealt with after cheating?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
What consequences of your actions?
Serious consequences. Serious stressing.
Stressing?
Yeah. Serious.
Stressing from who?
What do you mean? The relationship becomes strained.
There is no relationship strain because I just go silent. There is not much said after you do what you do. Okay. It's just you do your thing and I just breeze off, and then when I'm ready to accept you back around, then that's what it is.
The relationship becomes strained. We argue every now and again. We have bad energy and tension within the house. The kids feel the tension and the vibration. The relationship becomes strained. What are you talking about?
I've never seen a relationship be strained. Like, it's just you don't talk, I don't talk. We stay in our corner until we have something to say about the situation, and that's just that.
Okay.
I don't know about us ever, like, stressing. Like, one situation I probably could say yes, but other than that, no. I don't know of that. But okay, if that's how you see it.
Relationship becomes strained. The house becomes tense. The vibe just change. And what I'm saying is, we have to deal with the situation when I did that. If you decide to go the same route there, then that's also okay, but we have to deal with the consequences of that same way. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I mean, you're not going to just go do that and then feel like, say, before just accept it. Just like how me now go just do that and just come feel like, say, you for accept it.
What? You do it all the time. What are you talking about? You do it all the time.
I not expect you for just accept anything. I expect that.
You're not expecting
that's not my expectations.
You don't act like that most of the time.
You understand? We are going to have to deal with the situation however we can deal with it. If it can be reasoned, then we reason it and then we put it to bed and we move forward and try to build on our relationship until we reach the point now where we're up on a level where we're not even think about certain energy and vibration again, because we're in a certain space now. That is just relationship building. You understand what I say? That's just the point, basically. So for you now, after how many years now of relationship building now, decide say, my turn.
My turn. What is this, freeze tag?
Let me go do that turn. Because you never did rare when you did your thing. You never ask no question. You just got to do your thing. It makes no sense. You understand what I say? Because we have already been through a certain whole heap of situations and we build a relationship to a point now. So for you to know, get up and say, all right, you know what? Let me go do this that way, yeah? It wouldn't make sense. Mm-hmm. In a relationship at all, that just wouldn't make sense.
Of course, that's going to be the man's perspective, where it's going to make sense for anything.
That's not a man perspective. That's just a natural perspective. Logic's me a reason from. It not make me not a reason from a man's perspective. If me didn't your position, it would be the same. Because if you would cheat on me, see,
you wouldn't even be here.
Listen to what I say now. If you would cheat on me, and we have conversations and we talk back and we build up and we build to a point where we are right now. Me go say to myself, Nikita do that to me now, let me just go do it now. Like how and we there so in this vibe and energy now. It would make sense. It would be the stupidest decision ever. You understand what I say? But if there's a conversation now, and remember, the only reason why we are talking about this is because of a man so say his wife not give me no sex and this divorce, it might end up in a divorce. Mm-hmm. So it's like if me and you not have this conversation, then we'll probably end up in a divorce. Same way. Because they go outside. When we're in a space, right, in our current space where we feel comfortable with each other, where we are grow together and we outlast everything that is negative and now in a positive vibration and going in a positive direction. So for me, go take up myself now and say, you know what? I'm gonna do this because you did do that in the past and it's stupid.
Okay.
It's stupid. Just stupid.
That's your perspective of it. As I said, men, you guys are going to look at it as everything, anything that we do, any move that we make after you guys do something is going to be, oh, it's stupid because I get rhino and I get this and I get that. Like, not to we. Like
no, that's not my point. Again, you have misconstrued what I say. That's not what I'm saying at all.
If I was allowed to get to finish to make my point, then you would really understand what I was saying. But no, so it's okay. And as I said, I don't see it that way. But to each his own. That's your opinion on it. And
I don't know. I forgot. I don't know. As a woman, as a man, as a married man, you know, I don't feel like him shoulda. I don't really feel. I don't agree with him a divorce him wife because she not please him sexually.
Sex is very important for a lot of people, and if like life is so short, if I'm not getting what I need to get from you, what am I sitting here waiting for?
I mean, again, if sex is that important to you, then fine.
Exactly.
Do what you got to do.
There's people out there that it's very important to them where they're like, okay, well, this is how they feel, and you know they want that.
Do what you got to do, but me not agree. I feel like sex is important, and if you fulfill your purpose and what the purpose of sex is,
kids, then you're good. You don't really care about sex after that.
It's important to a point, you know. Like me say, once a day, every day for the week, it's fine. But if you know, I mean, even in a film situation, 3 times to the week.
Yeah, and he said that sometimes that's on a good month. Because sometimes
3 times for the week is also okay. It's not
3
great.
3 times a week.
It's not great, but it's not.
So you would be okay.
It's not. It's not a divorceable.
Okay, so would you be okay with having sex 3 times a week?
It's not a divorceable.
I just asked you a question.
I mean, on site, it's not a divorceable thing for me. You know, I wouldn't divorce you because of that. I wouldn't want a divorce because of that.
Do you think that's enough? Would that be okay
it's not,
for you?
Maybe it's not enough, but it's not a divorceable offense. It's we can look. It's like we have to be able to look beyond
the physical and sex.
Like when you're in a relationship with somebody and you're serious about the relationship, you know, and this perspective is generally is fairly new because I never used to think like this. You understand? But when you're in a relationship with somebody, you have to be able to connect in every alley. You understand what I'm saying? Whether it be spiritually, whatever. Every alley you have to be able to be connected with that person. And we also have to understand the hierarchy of what is more important than what. You know what I mean?
Prioritize.
And sex is important. Don't get me wrong. It's very important. Like me say, it have a whole heap of use. There's a whole heap of things that we can attribute to sex. Whole heap of great things that we can attribute to sex. See, you name them. You know? But also, I feel like a spiritual connection is far greater than a sexual one.
Definitely, I agree with that.
And if me and you can't have that, then the sex won't be the sex will be important, but it won't be that detrimental that if I'm not getting it, I'm going to divorce you.
So if you're not getting it, are you stepping out?
Again, we have to have a conversation about it. And if me and you come to a certain agreement that you can step out, me can step out, whatever the case, whatever the agreement is, then fine. If we cannot come to an agreement, that is also not a deal breaker. If you have to hold it, you just hold it, brother or sister. If you have to hold it and control yourself, control yourself. Learn self-control.
But not everyone has that.
Not everybody are gonna have that, but you can
And
build.
Some people, it takes time
You
for
can
them
build
to
to
build
that.
to get to that.
You can build to that.
And maybe their spouse don't have the time for them to build. Maybe the spouse don't want to be able
And
to
that's
sit
why
there and wait for
and
that.
that's why marriage is not a normal thing. It's not something that me personally would do after, like, if there's a after between me and you. Because I get to realize, say, the union of a man and a woman upon every level is not a normal discipline. You have to deal with it.
Damn, you say it like it's some bad shit. Like
No, bad. It's not a normal discipline. Like we trivialize, and me guilty of that. We trivialize the union between a man and a woman a lot. Like we don't really take it serious. You know, and because we don't take it serious, we make weakness overpower our mind.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And then that's how the defecting of the household became.
Yeah. So I feel like, you know, over the years, my mind developed where relationship is concerned, where having a relationship with a woman is concerned.
Okay.
And I realize that it is not just about having sex, having kids, and you know, whatever else. It's a combination of everything.
Many things.
And the discipline will come with it is not a normal thing for us have one woman or one man. It's not an easy thing for do.
So do you feel that changed who you are as a person, that discipline
Of
that
course,
you had
of course,
to build?
of course.
Give me a good and a bad.
Good and a bad in terms of how it changed
How
me.
it changed.
I mean, there is
Like a
no
pro and a
bad.
con.
There's no bad. There's no con. There's only pros. We
I
can
would
only
say
speak
for
of
you-
pros.
I would say for you, the cons of that
You
is
can't say for me. Let me say that. You can't say for me. There is no con. There's only pros. Because it allow me to see myself. It allow me to see women different. It allow me to approach women different. It allow me to approach relationships, not just between man and woman, but brethren and brethren, and you know, differently. Father and child, mother and child. Like it allow me to see parenting from a different perspective. You know, it changed my life completely, because me start see things on a more advanced level, you know, of how things supposed to work in order for you have that peace, you know.
So, needless to say, it was worth it.
It was more than worth it for me. And it teach you discipline.
And that's something
Discipline
that we
where you
need,
never
especially
have.
in this time.
But me never have.
Yeah.
You know, it teach me discipline, and because me learn for discipline myself in other way, yeah, I find myself being able now to be disciplined in other things where normally I wouldn't be so disciplined. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It teach me a lot.
Okay.
There's no cons. Even if me lose friends and whatever else along the way because of how me I move now. I think it's okay because maybe them energy there was waste energy that I needed to lose.
Most of them, yeah.
You understand what I say? So I'm fine with that. Me fine with it because me find a woman that is worth it. And every man and every situation is not the same.
Yeah.
You might find a woman that is not worth it, and you lose whole heap of friends and family because of this woman or this man who never really worth it because they never really understand so them have to discipline themselves as well. It's like discipline don't go one way. You understand what I say? So it allow you to really see yourself. So sex is not a deal breaker. That's, you understand what I say? For me say all of that to say this, sex is not a deal breaker for me.
Yeah.
Cannot be. Because my discipline in my mind now, I have to even more discipline. No, I have to find that discipline there now for say, you know what? She not really want to have sex so much, you know. I have to just know, say, I'm a wife, I love her. And I know so she love me because she not going to step out for me. She hold the same discipline. So why it's hard for me for just hold the discipline there too. You understand what I say? So that 3 times a week there is enjoy yourself, brother. Do everything what you need to do.
Yeah, right.
That 3 times there and just know say I eat that.
Down,
and then go and go watch football and enjoy everything else what you enjoy.
Yeah.
It should not be a deal breaker.
Yeah.
Should not.
I guess I understand where you're coming from now. And I guess I would have a opinion change on it where I agree with you now.
It should not
and
be.
I understand when you're saying it with all aspects of marriage, like everything that it comes with. You know, it should be a fulfillment with everything having a part of everything, not just sex being 50 or 60% of it and, you know, the rest of everything else getting a little piece of the time. So I definitely understand that, and I definitely do agree with that because for us, I do think that there is a balance that is needed. It can't just be sexual all the time. And I'm a very sexual person. You're more mild, I would say.
I'm not overly sexual like you. But me know if I balance it by doing whatever I need to do to please you.
Yeah.
You understand? When we reach that point of sex, you know, me make sure say you're pleased.
Yeah.
Sexually. You understand? That's what me understand from it. So it's like.
And that's the thing too. Most men want sex how many times a week, and their women are not even being pleased. Like
yeah, like you have to think about that too.
It doesn't make any sense.
That can be an issue too, you know.
Probably,
like
yeah.
You know, please the woman the right way.
Yeah.
So she not interested in it.
Yeah, in doing it. Yeah.
And that's like.
That is.
That's
true.
what I say. Me have to know the particulars of the situation before me can even comment on a specific situation like that.
We'll just make it broad. I guess we've made it broad instead of having it so specific. But it definitely is something that we do need to really be mindful of. You know, not over sexualizing our relationships and just putting so much on our sex lives that we abandon the rest of the relationship, the emotional, the mental. You know, it's just all about the sexual. So
them have kids?
No. That's the thing. I think he said she didn't want any kids. Because he has 2 kids from a previous relationship. And I think she has 1.
Okay.
But they don't have any together.
Concentrate on bringing the youths them together as a unit.
Yeah, but most men don't really. That's not their
but that's
thought process. That's not I agree with you, but that's thinking, not most men's thought process. Like, they're not thinking of, okay, let me have this blended family, really blended, where everyone feels love and, you know, accepted, and, you know, everyone is getting that same time to connect. You know, most men don't really think about that. They just think about, okay, she got her kids, I got my kids, and we living together. We just gonna figure it out. But if she ain't doing this, or she ain't cooking, or she ain't having sex, or she ain't doing this, then it's an issue. Then that's cause for most men to say, okay, I'm gonna go and find someone else. So that's what I'm saying. Like, when you're saying how
sometimes there's not even a cause. Someone just want to go and try himself. You know?
What do you mean?
Yeah, sometimes there's no cause. A man just want to step outside.
So that's the thing that makes it even worse for you to say that it's no reason behind y'all just having sex with another female. it's not that you're not enjoying your sex life, it's just you just want to do what you want to do, that's even more hurtful to the person you're with.
Of course.
Because that
But it
person
goes
is
both
being
ways.
no, because
Don't
that
just say, me not just say a man alone do it. Woman do that too.
of course women do it too, but it's mostly on the men's side. Like, you can't expect someone to be sitting there and you're doing certain things to them and then you expect everything to be good. Like, it's not fair to that person that you're with. So I don't know, it's a sticky situation. I guess everyone has to deal with it when it comes and how it comes.
Mm-hmm.
But communication, as he said, is a great way to start. Make sure you guys continue to communicate. Just be able to understand what your partner's needs are, knowing what those needs are, and if you feel that you cannot meet those needs of your partner, then maybe a discussion is needed, or then maybe you can say, all right, well, this is not for me, or we need to go our separate ways. Whatever the decision is, make sure that is not based off of emotion and it's based off sound thinking, feels and how you're feeling at that moment, and not just not even how you feeling in that moment. Don't make decisions off of how you feeling in that moment. Because when you make decisions off of anger and emotions, you usually make the wrong decisions. Just let us know how you feel about this episode. It's a sticky topic. A lot of people might be on...
People have their own opinions about it, but I feel like, you work it out as best you can, and if it can't work, then it just can't work.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But, we just speak from personal vibration, how me would handle the situation. I don't know how I would deal with it if you tell me, say, you want to go outside because I'm not please you. I don't know how. The conversation we just have to start and then we figure it out. But me not going to say, I'm going to leave you. Me not going to do that. Most men are going to say, I'm going to leave you right away. But me not going to...
Because if I'm here sitting here like...
I got to think about what me do and the things that I've done over the years.
Yeah, but most men are not reflective like that. Most men, like, that's what I'm saying, like, you're saying it nice where it's okay, you're gonna think about it.
Yeah,
most men don't do that.
Me know that. But me just tell you, say, me personally,
in this moment now,
I feel like, not in this moment now, I feel like we've been together for 19, 20 years. You understand what I say? And I feel like I've done a lot of shit. And
yeah, but and that's the thing too.
If there is a point in time where you decide that, you're gonna do something like that, then I feel like there should be a conversation.
All right, to your question that you asked earlier, like how would I deal with this? How I've dealt with the situation whenever we've had, like for me, most of the things that happened between us where we were young. Like we were in our teens, early 20s, late 20s. Like it's during our young phase, the phase where we're able to make mistakes, and I guess that's what I put it as. Okay. Why the reason, as you asked, like why I was so accepting of the relationship after whatever happened. That's the thing for me. It was always like we're young, we're living life. I'm not gonna put limitations on what you need to be doing. If that's what you feel like doing, then that's what you're going to do. In my mental space at that moment, and even to this day, it's always like, you're going to do what you want to do. I'm not going to limit you and tell you what it is that you can't do. But just don't be upset when I'm like, okay, I have no more patience for this. I got to go. And I think that's where we were at the turning point with our relationship, where I was just like, I can't do this no more. Like, I'm not going to keep doing this. The back and forth, the careless lifestyle where you're doing this and I'm supposed to be upset and I got to be arguing. Like, I'm not, we're getting too old for certain things. For me, we were young, we were learning, we were living, you were enjoying your life, we were doing things. I'm not innocent myself, so I can't sit and say, okay, it's all you. But we've both been through things that, I'm saying, weren't the best for our relationship at times. You more than me, but... it's still, could have put us in a situation where we wouldn't be together right now. So for that, it's always me just thinking of it as, okay, we're young, one life to live. He got to do him. If that's what he chooses to do with his time, that's what he's going to do. And I just look at it as, okay, it's no disrespect to me. It's just him doing what he wants to do. And I guess most of the time that's how I was mentally able to just get past certain things for me.
Okay.
But yeah,
It's not so easy for a man. Men, our thought process is
different,
just.
But I have to be
it's just
rational
so
and I have
different.
to be realistic. I can't just be like, okay, I want it to be fairy tale where nothing is gonna happen, and we're gonna be in the greatest of relationship. It's gonna be no issues. Like any relationship like that, that's not a relationship, and you're never gonna learn.
A
from
man
that
expectation
relationship.
is a woman just stay at the yard and do what she do now. But I go look no man, cause me and your man, you don't need no more man.
But only for all they have 2, 3, 4 women, and we supposed to just build. Nah,
Just a
dogs, like
man's
it don't.
expectation. In general, I feel like I
Men
just
have a lot of expectations upon women that they're not willing to fulfill because they want to tell women, oh, we need you to cook, we need you to clean, we need you to do this. Can you build me a house? No, you can't build a house. So you want me to do shit that you can't even do, like, you know what I'm saying, certain things, but it's very tricky, and we just have to understand that not everyone is the same as us. Not everyone have the same mental space. Not everyone have the same opinion, exactly. And growth is very important in a relationship.
Learn for grow mentally.
Yeah. So let us know how you feel about this episode. Make sure you guys continue to listen to us on all streaming platforms: Google, Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Podcast Addict. Make sure you guys continue to view us on YouTube. I'm like Red Square Official. Please make sure you guys go and subscribe, share, like, and comment on this and other episode of this podcast. We thank you guys so much for joining us on another episode. Hope you guys enjoy the reasoning tonight. Let us know how you guys feel. Thank you for joining us again on another episode of Music and Marriage. My name is Nikita. I am your host, and this is my co-host.
I'm like Red Square. Big up on yourself. Give thanks for tuning in.
Red Square.
Touchdown.